Okay, we're looking at this and we're going to X. Oh, I wish it were right here, but that's not what we're looking for. I do know that this piece is 9 because I can subtract this one here is 12 minus 3. So I can get that one there. So I don't have to do too much there. So what I really want to do is figure out what X is. And unfortunately we can't use heartbeat here. So what we're going to have to do is pick some points. I'm just going to call this A, A, B, C, and D. And just like I did earlier, I'm going to try to draw the triangles. I'm going to draw the medium triangle that looks like this. Okay, there's my medium triangle. This is the big triangle over here. And then I'm going to draw a small one that's oriented the same way. And they both have right angles here. So what I need to do is match up stuff. So I'm going to match up right angles first. Here's A, the right angle, in the bottom left. So on both of these, they have to match the right angle. It turns out D is in the small one, and D is in the big one. The medium one. So here's a small and the medium triangles. And that would be D as well. So we got that one out of the way. Okay. Now we need to figure out, oh no, let's do the smallest side. Well, it turns out in triangle, turns out that in triangle, let's go to the medium triangle, the red one here. This is the medium one. Turns out in that medium one, the smallest side is right here. So this is the smallest angle is C. Okay, so that's the smallest in the medium triangle. Okay, what about the big triangle? What's the smallest side? This looks like the smallest side, and it's also opposite C. So C's in the bottom right, so on the medium triangle, C is going to go right there. Okay, so let me erase all this. Okay, let's do it in green now. Okay, in the small triangle. Okay, remember, over here, I erased something here. There was the angle C. Okay, so in that small triangle, we already know C is the smallest in the big triangle. Because we did it last time. X was smallest, it went over to here. So what we want to do is figure out what's the smallest in the small triangle. Well, it looks like 3 is the smallest side, so it's opposite A, so A must be the smallest angle. And I want to put that right here. So A corresponds to C, which corresponds to C in the big one. Okay. Whoops. So I got those there. So let me do some cleanup here. That should make it really easy for us to look at the missing here. So in the small triangle, I got some letters missing, so I'm going to refill them in. A and D, that's what they're. So in that small triangle, I already have A and D, so I'm missing B. In the medium triangle right here, I have D and C, so I'm missing A. So I've got my triangles there. Now I can label my parts. So I'll do that in blue. Okay, so we know that anywhere I see AB is X. So I have an AB right here, that's X. And I have an AB right here, that's X. Now I'm going to check wherever I see BD, I'm going to put 3. Well, I have a BD here is 3. I don't have one in the medium triangle. Okay, wherever we already said that we said this earlier that this was 9 right here from D to C. So wherever I see D to C, I'm going to put 9. D to C is 9 right here. Okay, And then there's no B to C's anywhere except in B to C is 12. It's not anywhere except in the big triangle. So we've got everything listed there. Let's see if we can figure something out. So let me clean this up just a bit so it doesn't look as busy. Okay, so I cleaned it up quite a bit. So we got that there. So we got our pieces. Let's match some things up. Okay, let's match some things up. Well, we don't know AD, and we'd like to make AD go. We'd like to make AD go with 9, but there's nothing to match up. We'd like to make 3 go with AD there. That's a problem there. We could make. I think we labeled something wrong here. AB is X. Oh, I know where we made a mistake. This is not X. This is AC. That distance there is AC. What's AC in our picture? We don't know it. What's AD? We don't know it. What's AB? We don't know it. We know CD is 9. So we're really kind of stuck here. But we do have it turns out this medium triangle isn't very useful because all we have in the medium triangle is this distance here, which I labeled right there. So I'm not going to use the medium triangle to set up a proportion. It doesn't give me enough stuff. So I'm left using the small one and the big one. So let's see what matches up. Well, I know 3 matches up with X there. So I'm going to go 3 over X. Okay, I also know X matches up with 12. So I'm going to go X over 12. So now remember, this 3 is in the small one, and this X is in the big one. This X, this one here, is in the small one, so I'm okay. And this 12 is in the big one. So I've got small over big, small over big. So we're in good shape. So let's cross multiply. I'll just change the color here. 3 times 12 is 36. X times X is X squared. So now we're going to square root it. And we get X equals 6. Well, let's see what we actually, how do we get this 36? Remember, this 36 was 3 times 12, so we actually end up getting 3 times 12, and we take the square root. Well, isn't that the same as the geometric mean? Isn't that the geometric mean? So we might be onto some kind of rule here. So let me clean this up a bit. Let me clean this up a bit. If we want, it seems like if we want the short side of the big triangle, then we can take the whole hypotenuse and multiply it by the small piece of the hypotenuse, and then take the square root. Or in other words, take the geometric mean of the hypotenuse and the small piece, and you'll get the small side of the big triangle. Something to think about.